Okay, so we're going to begin Chapter 4, Criminal Law and Procedure. We are going to begin by asking a simple question. To address the essential question, what are the three elements that make up a criminal act? This is, by the end of this lesson, is what you guys should be able to answer. The three elements that make up a criminal act. Okay, how we can define what is a criminal act. Okay, first question I'm asking you, and I'd like your response. What is a crime? If I ask you what a crime is or what is involved in a crime, yes, Matthew. Okay, I hear the word misdemeanor against a person. Okay, Marcus? Okay, doing something wrong against society. Okay, Kiara? Okay, unlawful act that violates society and the government. And all of those are key words that I'm glad to hear. Okay, unlawful, it is a breach of law. Okay, misdemeanor is a kind of crime, Matthew, that we'll talk about the two different classifications. It is a crime or a wrong against society. Wrongs against individual persons are called torts, and we'll learn about them later. But crimes are wrongs against society as a whole. And Kiara, you said the word government. That is who is being referenced when we talk about society. Okay, good. Okay, so a crime is a wrong against society. Okay, it is punishable by fines and imprisonment, or fines or imprisonment, depending on the crime. When the defendant or the person who's convicted of the crime pays the fines, who gets that money? The government, okay? The person who was wronged does not get the money. That money goes back to society, back to the government, and to the judicial system. It does not go directly to that person. When we talk about money being exchanged as in repayment for something that's been a wrong that's been done, that is on the civil law side. Okay, so the fines. Yes. I'm sorry? Yes. Okay. Carefully defined by statutes and laws, so that the crimes must be very specifically identified. Okay. In other words, there is no gray area in criminal law. Okay, we've nailed it down to the very, very specific, the who, the what, the when, the where, the why. It's all very, very well defined. Why is that? What could happen if there are gray areas? Yes, okay, it becomes, or people who've done things that, if it's not well defined, people are not able to understand what they should and should not be doing, which is the next thing here. Okay, it's clearly and specifically defined behavior, and it is a responsibility of you as the citizen living in that area to know what is and is not expected or prohibited of you. Okay, so if you are driving through an area that has a noise ordinance, it is up to you to know as you drive through that there is a noise ordinance and you cannot have your speakers up that loud. If the speed limit changes as you're driving, who is responsible for knowing that? You are, the driver of the vehicle. You can't say to the police officer, I had no idea. I didn't know. I thought 100 was fine. Okay, that does not fly as a defense for breaking the law. You are responsible for knowing it. Yes, ma'am. Sure. Sure, you can sincerely not know, but yes, you are still responsible. Okay? It is up to you, the person who's living in the area or operating in the area, to know what is expected of you, and that is your responsibility. Okay? Otherwise, people would be wandering around doing whatever they wanted, saying, I didn't know. Sorry, asking for forgiveness. Okay? All right, so the elements of a criminal act, and there are three. Did you have a duty to do or to not do a certain thing? Okay, was it your responsibility? Second one, did you perform an act or an omission that would violate that duty? Okay, so if you did in fact have a responsibility, did you violate that? Did you do something that was in violation of that? Okay, and then thirdly, did you have criminal intent? Okay, criminal intent is the one that really twists it around, so we're going to spend a little more time on that. But the first one, okay, duty. Everyone has a legally enforced duty or responsibility to make sure that their behavior conforms to what is expected of them in society. Okay, you have a expectation to be aware of people, of your surroundings. Be aware that you are not infringing on their rights. They're not infringing on yours. Okay. Now, certain occupations and positions have specialized duties. Okay. So doctors, teachers, clergy persons, attorneys, they have different kinds of duties than, say, a McDonald's employee. Okay. Now, what I'm talking about with this, I am eating in a restaurant, and I am I'm a certified first aid, person. I can administer CPR and other first aid services. And I'm eating in a McDonald's restaurant, and the person at the table next to me begins to choke. Okay? I am required by law to perform the Heimlich maneuver and to attempt at least the most basic form of CPR or EMT services, as I am trained to do so. Okay? Now, Tyler is sitting at the table next to me. He is not trained in that way. Does Tyler have to act? No. Okay? He can try. That would be nice of you if you tried, but you are not required by law to act. If I do not act, and at a later point someone says, hey, that lady was trained, why didn't she act? They can come after me, okay? And that would be a crime of omission, me failing to act on that, okay? If an attorney, they find out information from their client, if they turn around and spread that information, post it on Facebook, tell someone about it, and that then influences the outcome of their case, they are in breach of their duty, okay, as their position. Same thing with me as a teacher. I have confidential information about all of you guys. If I start posting that stuff on Facebook or discussing that outside of school, I am then in breach of my duties. Okay, so we have specialized duties based on, our positions, our professions, etc. Do we understand the duty? Okay, those of us who are just citizens of the United States, citizens in this, country, state, and local ordinance, your duty is to maintain your personal space, to not infringe on the rights of others, that kind of thing. Okay, the violations, these are breach of duty. Okay, the specific act that violates the statute. Okay, it must be proven. This is our criminal intent. It must be able to be proven. Okay, and this refers to the intention of the defendant, that the person meant to commit the specific act or omission as defined in the controlling statute. So we're sitting in McDonald's, the person starts to choke. I look at them and I say, I have to get going. I have this thing, I'm going to be late, so good luck with that. And I leave. Did I knowingly leave the scene and not perform the duties that were required of me? Yes. Was that my intention? It was. Did I intend for that person to die? No. Okay, did I say, I hope that they choke on their burger? No. But I have still acted intentionally by leaving. Okay? Intent and motive are separate in the eyes of the law. Okay? Intent, intent refers strictly to the state of the mind of the person at the time that the crime is committed, okay, or the failure of act happens. All right, motive is the reason that they did it, okay? So, we're going to read this right here. Okay, to learn a little more about motive versus intent. All right, motive is not a requirement in a court of law. You do not have to have a proven motive. You do not have to have a proven motive in order to show that a crime has been committed. You do have to have criminal intent. Okay? So the example here is Wilma and Barney. They've been married for 15 years. Barney walks in on Wilma and the next door neighbor, Fred. Okay? And they're having an affair. And Barney, enraged, goes and gets his gun, and he shoots them both dead. Okay? What was Barney's motive for killing them? Betrayal or anger, okay? Rage. He was furious because they were having an affair. That's his motive. What was his intent? To hurt them, okay? Therefore, there is our intent. We have it. It's clear cut. We have the motive. We put it all together. We have a case. We have the same characters. Now we have Wilma and Barney. They're married now for 50 years. Wilma gets cancer. It's terminal. She's not going to make it. And she's in agonizing pain. She's in so much pain. And she begs Barney, please, 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 help me just end this. And so Barney loves her so much that he goes and he gets a gun and he shoots her. Okay? What was Barney's motive? To help her, to be kind to his wife that he loved. Okay? What was his intent? His intent was to kill her. Okay? His intent still is a criminal intent, and therefore would still be prosecuted in the same way. Yes? Okay, then we get into our different levels of, we have murder 1, we have murder, first-degree murder, second-degree murder, involuntary manslaughter, and voluntary manslaughter. So those are different levels within that crime of homicide. Okay, homicide is taking of another person's life for any reason, in any way, taking and ending that person's life. Okay, but then we have the different levels. So that would be voluntary manslaughter, not in a malicious way. Okay, involuntary manslaughter might be, I hit the person with my car. I didn't mean to do it, but I still took their life. Okay, and then first degree murder was, you slept with my wife, I'm going to kill you. Okay. All right, so that is motive versus intent. Any questions on this so far? Okay, we're going to stop for a minute.